Imagine waking up every morning, and before eating, before speaking, before seeing your family, you sit quietly and imagine your own death, not as a possibility, but as a certainty. A sword through your chest, an arrow in your throat, your body lying cold on a battlefield. Most people would call this madness. The samurai called it freedom, because they discovered something terrifying. The thing destroying human beings was never death, it was the fear of death. And once that fear disappeared, they became almost impossible to break. Tonight, you will discover why some of history's most feared warriors spent their lives preparing to die, and how their darkest secret can help you conquer fear, anxiety, loneliness, and the battles inside your own mind. Every human being is born into a prison. Not a prison made of iron, a prison made of fear. Fear of rejection, fear of failure, fear of losing, fear of judgment, fear of being alone, fear of not being enough. Most people spend their entire lives trapped inside this invisible cage. They never say what they truly feel. They never chase what they truly want. They never become who they truly are, because fear stands between them and freedom. The samurai understood this. Hundreds of years ago in feudal Japan, these warriors faced death almost daily. A battle could begin at sunrise and end with their head separated from their body before sunset. They knew something most modern people try desperately to avoid. Death was not coming someday. Death was already walking beside them, watching, waiting, patient. And because they accepted this reality, something extraordinary happened. Fear began to lose its power. One of the most influential texts of samurai philosophy was Hagakure. A famous line from the book says, "The way of the samurai is found in death." To modern ears, this sounds disturbing. But it was not about seeking death. It was about destroying fear. Many samurai practiced something shocking. Every day, they would imagine dying. They visualized every possible end: being cut down in battle, burning in fire, drowning in water, being executed, losing everything. Why? Because the mind fears uncertainty. The unknown creates anxiety. But once the mind becomes familiar with the worst outcome, the fear begins to weaken. The samurai trained themselves to look directly at what terrified them, while others looked away. This was psychological warfare against their own minds, and it worked. Most people believe the samurai's greatest enemy was another warrior, a rival clan, a skilled swordsman, a deadly army. They were wrong. The real enemy lived inside. Fear, anger, attachment, self-doubt, panic. These invisible enemies destroyed more warriors than swords ever could. The samurai knew that a frightened mind creates weak decisions. A distracted mind creates mistakes. An emotional mind creates defeat. Before conquering others, they learned to conquer themselves. That is why samurai training was not just physical, it was mental, spiritual, psychological. Because a warrior who cannot control his mind cannot control his destiny. Today, most people are physically safe, yet mentally exhausted. Why? Because the battlefield changed. The enemy changed, but fear remained. You are no longer afraid of a sword. You are afraid of failure. You are afraid of losing your job. You are afraid of rejection. You are afraid people will judge you. You are afraid your dreams will never come true. The modern battlefield exists inside your head, every day, every night, every silent moment. And just like the samurai, the only way out is through. Running from fear strengthens it. Facing fear weakens it. But fear was not the samurai's greatest enemy. The true battle began when there was no battlefield, no army, no sword, only silence, and the darkness inside his own mind. For the samurai, loneliness wasn't a punishment. It was a weapon. And that weapon changed everything. To be continued in part 2.